Number 4, senior O&B. Number 15, junior Bryce Carr. Number 21, junior Leland. And number 23, senior Leland. The riders are coached by Ian Kirschner and assisted by Ryan Boyle and Matt Mann. And now the starting lineup for Rewind-Proctor Bears. Number 3, senior captain Nick Sway. Number 12, junior Leland Carey. Number 13, senior captain Kyle Miles. Number 21, junior Logan Leland. And number 22, senior captain Curtis Tomlinson. The Lelanders are coached by Jake Ian and assisted by Rick Ian. At this time, the team is ready to make their caps for the playing of the national anthem.
Okay, welcome to the Bajani Gym for the kickoff of the 2015-2016 season with the Proctor Phantoms Division 4 defending state champions going up against the Leland Gray Rebels. Proctor in their home white going left to right. Leland and Gray in their away green. Missed by Logan Landon. I almost got to play right there. Let me go down the starting lineups for Leland and Gray. Clausen, number 2. Beatty, number 4. Karg, number 15, 21, Tebow, and 23, Morrow. For the Phantoms, Logan Landon, Curtis Tomlinson, Gannon McKieran, Kyle Miles, Nick Swain, and Curtis Tomlinson. Proctor opens up in his zone. Nice entry pass by Leland and Gray. Opens the scoring 2-0 with 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Foul on number 4, Owen Beatty for the Rebels. Nice inbounds play. Logan landed with a very short jump shot off the glass for 2, and we're all knotted up. Proctor again in his zone. Leland attempting to penetrate and kick, penetrate the seams of the zone. Proctor a little bit flat-footed to start. The Rebels turn the ball over on the travel. It's Proctor's ball going down. Proctor has a lot of size and really is returning the entire heart of the championship team from 2014-2015. Logan landed with his second early hoop, and Proctor up 4-2. It's a nice inside bounce pass. It's always great when you can get a big who can see the floor, especially inside, and make those short bounce passes. Proctor has a very long team. I can't say in general that they are large, but they're definitely long. Curtis Tomlinson shares time at the point, and he's 6'2", 6'3". The way that Proctor plays, aside from their 5, pretty much everybody is somewhat interchangeable. As Jake Eaton has told me, they're all basketball players, which is generally what you like to see. Everybody with some level of skill. Good box out by Logan landed on that play. Gannon McCarron, one of the fastest players in Division 4. That time, it seemed that Logan got beat down the floor, but there was a miss, and he gets the rebound. Nick Swain pulling up for 3. We don't see a lot of ball movement right now by Proctor. It seems the teams are both sort of feeling each other out a bit. Looked like a walk. But of course the ref disagrees with me, and it is not a walk. Called a block instead. Getting ready to check into the game, Nick Ojala, number 24 for the Phantoms. Some replacing Kyle Miles. A lot of ball pressure out front. Proctor now in a man-to-man. And another foul. This is on number 21, Logan Landon, his first. Leland and Gray is a pretty large team. I don't think you want to get Logan Landon getting in any foul trouble. We're a long way from that at this point. Legal screen. Legal screen, number 23 on the foul, and that's Nick Morrow. This backcourt of Nick Ojala, Gannon McCarron may be one of the fastest, definitely in Division 4. They were also an important part of Proctor's varsity soccer state championship, concluded a month and a half ago. That's on number 24, Nick Ojala. If they continue to call the game this close, I don't know if we'll have enough players. At some point, this is actually a contact game. Maybe the refs are just trying to ease into it as well. Here's the quickness of Nick Ojala. Logan Landon to Gannon McCarron, 4-2. Fouls on number 2, Green, and 2 for Leland and Gray. That is Aaron Clausen. It's his first foul, and Gannon McKieran at the line to try to finish up the old-fashioned three-point play. And not quite this time, but a battle ensues for the rebound, and it's off the Rebels. Proctor with the ball out of bounds. Nick Ojala taking the ball out of bounds. Proctor in a box. Cross screens. Nice screen, and in fact, it does seem that the refs there want to be very involved in the game, and that is now, I believe, 8 fouls in 4 minutes. Logan Landon at the line misses the first. It's always a little bit of nervous energy going on in the first game. Whether you won a state championship with the exact same team or not. Kyle Miles getting red, number 13 for the Phantoms, getting ready to check back into the game. Great defense by Gannon McKieran that time. And there's the quickness again of Nick Ojala. And followed by Curtis Tomlinson. Proctor loves to get out and run, and especially with this group in. It's a lot of speed in the 1, 2, and 3 positions. Proctor seemed to pick up their play once they went to the man-to-man. Almost a 3-second call there. Little screen and roll. Proctor's defense is starting to impose itself on Leland and Gray at this point. And a lot of point-blank shots by Leland and Gray, but they just aren't falling right now. Proctor gets in a situation where they can put a little run together. That was one of the most amazing calls I've ever seen. Leland and Gray player literally dug his shoulder into Curtis Tomlinson's chest, and somehow Curtis Tomlinson's chest fouled Leland and Gray player. But Kurt could use a couple of cheeseburgers, and maybe he could make sure that doesn't happen. Nevertheless, again, point-blank shots not falling for Leland and Gray, and Nick Ojala and his speed is causing problems. That intermediate game with that nice jump shot, it's not exactly the passing game, but when you get a 15-foot wide-open shot, you're going to take that every time. Another point-blank miss. Here comes Gannon McKieran with a head of steam. Now that's one I actually agree with. That is Gannon McKieran's first foul, called with the charge. On that kind of play, you've got to use a Euro step or something to get him to change his position. Nevertheless, 2 minutes and 1 second left in the first quarter. Proctor maintains a 9-point lead, or has moved out to a 9-point lead, 13-4. Fouls are 5 team fouls for Proctor, 4 for the visiting Rebels. Nick Morrow, number 23, has 2 for the Rebels, and there's nobody with 2 for Proctor. So we'll keep an eye on that foul situation. Proctor looking to up the tempo even more now with Curtis Tomlinson getting a hand on the inbound pass as Proctor looks to press. Foul that time on number 13, Kyle Miles, his second. Kyle Miles has had a history of getting in a little bit of foul trouble over the years, and at least he's consistent. Nice play by Gannon McKieran. Great position, and caused the turnover. Tied the ball up. Number 24. I don't see a number 24 on the list. Number 24, Bovat for Leland and Gray. Got into that scrum with Gannon. Now wide open three from the corner. Not quite there. Excellent shot. Good way to play inside out. You'll want to take that shot as much as possible. Bovat for Rebels comes out. You can tell he's hit the weight room more than once. Definitely a strong player. Proctor back in the zone. Tip ball by Proctor out of bounds on the side to the Rebels. A little bit of a scoring drought the last couple of minutes. Proctor's defense is smothering right now, and as you start to miss those shots inside, you get a little frustrated and start to take shots you might not otherwise take. Steal by Nick Swain, who takes it all the way to the hoop and picks up the foul on number 21, Nick Moreau. I'm sorry, it's number 23, Nick Moreau, for the Rebels. That is 3 early fouls. We're not even out of the first quarter yet. Nick Swain at the foul line. This is the first. Nick Swain, an excellent outside shooter, excellent offensive player, and a good athlete. Hits the second. Proctor now up by 10 with 57 seconds left in the first quarter. Scores 14-4 in favor of Proctor. Proctor switching defenses on almost every possession. Seems to have some confusion. For the Rebels. Bryce Karg takes the ball in for the Rebels. Aaron Clausen brings it up, staring into the teeth of that 2-3 zone. Proctor's now extending that zone out, so it's a matchup zone. They're trapping in the corners with their length. You got Cousins, Gannon McKieran, and Christopher Tomlinson. Long arms, tall guys, and it's a heck of a trap. Nick Ojala digging down and causes a turnover to travel, and Proctor now comes back. 23 seconds left, leading by 10 in the ball. Proctor now in the flex. One of the, personally, I can't stand the flex, but you know, people have been using it for a long time, so somebody must like it. And shot at the buzzer by Nick Ojala just off the mark. Proctor maintains a 14-4 lead heading into the second quarter. Proctor with 6 fouls, team fouls, and the Leland and Gray Rebels with 5. The only player in foul trouble for Leland and Gray is Nick Morrow with 3 early fouls in the first quarter. And Kyle Miles has 2 fouls for the Phantoms. Now, interestingly enough, Coach Eaton for the, Coach Jake Eaton, of course his father coaches with him, thought that this would be, in fact, the year that the Proctor men's Phantoms matured to the point where they would win a state championship. And they got on a run last year and played some of the most amazing basketball in the state tournament that you'd ever want to see. And were able to capture a state championship early. They now are going to be in a situation as defending champions where you hope that fire and hunger to go back to back is still there. It's been amazing for the women's program that they have been in 4 consecutive basketball state champions, winning 3 in a championship games, winning 3 in a row, and last year falling in a close game to crosstown rival MSJ. Now Nick Ojala for the Phantoms moving from left to right and into the game for Proctor. It's number 10, Andre Greb. Number 4, Braden Fox. To go with Nick Ojala, Logan Landon, and Gannon McCarron. Andre Greb is an excellent athlete, really good leaper, strong kid. Deep 3 by Gannon McCarron. Braden Fox is an excellent defender, very fast, hustle machine, all-state soccer player. And this is his senior year. Nice pick and roll with Andre Greb. Very nice. That's some pretty basketball right there. Apparently Leland and Gray coach wants a hand check, but this isn't 1950s basketball where contact is not allowed. Seemed early on the ref set an expectation that every touch was going to be a foul, and the last couple of minutes that seems to have changed. Thank God, frankly. Nobody wants to watch the refs play. Ball out of bounds to the Rebels. Get a 3-1 set. Then got caught up on that pick, but recovered. Braden trying to make a tough pass there. But again, there's the hustle that I talked about. Ball's tied up and possession to the Rebels. Come on, Rebels. Number 24 for the Rebels is looks like more like a wrestler than a basketball player, but that's one strong guy, Bovat, and he's got the ball inside. Gannon McCarron on the foul. That's his second foul. Number 24, Bovat, on the line for 2. Off right, now for the second. Dribbles in the second one and scores now 19-7 Proctor. Nick Ojala walking the ball up. Nice swing of the ball. Andre Greb with an excellent job inside. His game has improved immeasurably from what I remember him in JV. Braden Fox just a little late there. Proctor has wholesale substitutions coming in. Curtis Tomlinson, Nick Swain, Kyle Miles. That foul was on Braden Fox, and Proctor just went back to being bigger, at least at the 3 position. Curtis Tomlinson in, and Bovat drains the first of 2. Leland and Gray in the 1-on-1, and that can get you back in the game pretty quickly with no clock running. Now Curtis Tomlinson running the point. They're Proctor running their Kentucky weave. Nice rebound off the take by Braden Fox. Braden turned the corner well. He's not the biggest of guys. Got the ball to the rim, and that freed up Andre Greb to grab the rebound. Fouls on number 21, Caleb Tebow, his second. And Andre Greb banks in the second one. But you know what? They count whether you bank them or not. When I was playing, I always used to think that if somebody banked a free throw, they ought to not count it. But, you know, if they did that, my brother would never score. Braden Fox from deep. Proctor extending its lead. Proctor legitimately playing 10 players at this point. Those Leland great shots are just not going. Braden Fox with the interception. And here comes Curtis Tomlinson. Nick Swain for a patented 3. Drains on the kick out from Curtis Tomlinson. And Proctor extends to 25-9 lead with 5:03 left in the second quarter. Both teams are currently in the bonus, so that should not be, well, could be a factor depending on who fouls, but at least it's evened up for both teams. Interestingly enough, Proctor Phantoms actually have a one-man track team in Gannon McCarran, who this past spring set a couple of state records in track. Gannon runs, is actually trained by Rick Eaton, and who's Jake Eaton's father, assistant coach and JV coach for the Proctor team, and runs as an individual, but under the Proctor Phantom banner. Second horn, and Proctor and Leland and Gray get ready to finish out the first remaining 5 minutes of the first half. Proctor leading 25-9 here in the second quarter. Both teams in the bonus, and Aaron Clausen for the Rebels bringing the ball up right to left against now the Proctor zone. Curtis Tomlinson is so long, it's so difficult to get a ball around him. Normally you'd expect to see a 6'3" guy playing in the post, but he has good skills for point guard. He's very fast. And in Division IV, you don't see too many 6'3" point guards, but you do here. Kyle Miles at the line for 2, drains the first. That foul was the foul that was on number 14, Owen White of the Rebels. And he drains the second. Proctor extends its lead to 27-9. Gannon McCarron with the long, tall and long arms. That's when you got to use the bounce pass to get the ball around a guy like him. I would also say that Proctor's relatively small court doesn't provide a lot of space when you've got Proctor playing that kind of defense at the top of the key. Excellent steal and pass, great assist by Braden Fox, and finish by Kurt Tomlinson. Rebels seem a little bit disjointed at this point, realizing they're down by 20 points. You know, some of those early shots and then not sure what the call was. That was, I guess, not a three-point. Looked like a three-pointer, but I didn't have the best angle. It's a 2, and here comes Curtis Tomlinson from left to right. Nick Swain with his shot off the screen. That is a three-pointer. Proctor extending the lead to 32-11. Leland and Gray just had some trouble hitting shots. They had some open shots. They had a bunch of layups early. Proctor now in the flex. And in and out, just around the rim for Kyle Miles. A little unlucky. Wholesale substitutions for Proctor. Gannon McCarron, Nick Ojala, Logan Landon. Coming in for Braden Fox, Andre Greb, and Kyle Miles. For the final 3:23 of the first half. Nice interior passing by Kurt Tomlinson to Logan Landon. Proctor right now looks like a well-oiled machine. Looked a little stiff the first minute or two, but boy, that's changed. Ball off the Rebels to Proctor. Nick Ojala brings the ball up.
30 or the floor, buddy. Give it to him. There it is.
Lob over the top for Logan Landon. Logan's got to put that hard off the glass. Tried to get a little bit too soft with the touch in there. Just place it right on that square. He's big enough. He can get up there and do it. Logan bringing the ball up. Kurt Tomlinson all the way to the hoop for the layup and one. Fouls on number 12 for the Rebels, Benton Winrich. And Kurt Tomlinson hits to the free throw for the old-fashioned three-point play. Proctor in the 2-1-2. Leland and Gray has had some shots. They just have not gone down. And against Proctor, if you're going to stay with them, you've got to be able to hit some shots. And they've just been a little unlucky and a little off the mark. And that's what puts us in a situation where it's 37-11 lead with 2 minutes left in the first half. And Logan Landon, again, being a little bit too... Got to place that ball right on the box. Put it on the box with your hand. First game of the season. I'm sure that he'll come around to that. Did pick up the foul. That's on number 4, Owen Beatty, his second. Logan Landon shooting for 2, misses the first, and trains the second. And the Rebels are able finally to hit a jump shot. They were been close a lot of times and finally get one down. Penetration and kick. You can tell these guys have played together for a number of years. High pick and roll with Logan Landon, Curtis Tomlinson. They step off him, and he gets a nice 18-foot jump shot. It's tough when you got a lot to cover. Getting ready to check into the game. Number 20, Joe Parker. Timeout to the Phantoms, holding a 40-13 lead with 1:04 left in the first half. Early on, game looked like it was pretty competitive, and unfortunately right now it's not. Might have to dig out some of my good old stories to keep this one interesting in the second half. Did you hear the one about the scorekeeper? I guess she hasn't. Nevertheless, Nick Ojala bringing the ball up, running that Kentucky weave. Gannon McCarron looks a little bit like the Globetrotters right now, but the corner got turned, and Joe Parker, nice rebound inside, and Proctor gets the ball back. Curtis Tomlinson all the way to the hoop for 2. And this is starting to get ugly. Proctor with a trap in the corner out of their zone, and another steal. Good hustle by the Rebels, knocking the ball out of bounds. At least it wasn't a layup. Ojala inbounding. Here comes Kurt Tomlinson. Oh.
Good job, Kurt. Sideline. Good layup, Nick. Sideline. Kurt, go get it. Sideline. It's our ball. Wait, it's our ball. We're all right. Go over the top. Go over the top.
Ojala for 3, and not quite. Rebound by Gannon McCarron. 10 seconds left. Ojala on the outside. Gannon McCarron with the cut. And on the turnover, that might be the only thing that went wrong this quarter. And steal and almost put it in. Nevertheless, Proctor with a 42-13 lead at halftime.
Mr. Yan.
I believe that the Leland and Gray Rebels only scored 4 points in that second quarter, and Proctor went on a run and have blown this game open at this point. We'll be back in a second, and before the start of the second half, we'll give you the first half scoring totals. The Rebels from Leland and Gray prepare to continue their basketball battle with the Proctor Phantoms. I liked the old days when you used to have a jump ball after every at the beginning of every half, but we haven't seen that in a long time.
I didn't know that they did that.
Well, the voice you just heard, as I was about to introduce her, is multiple-time state champion Olivia Valerio, member of the Proctor Lady Phantom team. Her sister Alyssa is currently calling games for the Providence College Friars. Welcome, Olivia.
Thank you.
Well, Proctor starts off where they left off in the first half, with a nice kiss off the glass in extending their lead to 44-13, and Leland and Gray started off where they left off too, with a turnover. Curtis Tomlinson bringing the ball up, high pick for Kyle Miles. My guess is in a game like this that's honestly out of hand, you might see it starting to get physical. And number 24, Mr. Bovat for Leland and Gray, is about as physical as I've seen on either team.
Good take.
That was Bovat, number 24, finishing for Leland and Gray. Curtis Tomlinson, Gannon McKieran at the top of the key for the jump shot. Ball off the Rebels. Proctor with the out of bounds. Proctor running those out of bounds plays is as good as you get. Curtis Tomlinson underneath trying to box out. And I will say this, that Kurt's an excellent basketball player, but if he gets in a wrestling match with number 24, Mr. Bovat, who's coming out of the game, he's going to have a problem. What do you think, Liv?
I don't think that would go too well. Ooh, good play.
Curl off the inbounds to Curtis Tomlinson, and
Such a good play. Yeah, nice steal.
a steal by Nick Swain,
And good
taking the ball to the hoop, shielding the ball very nicely with his body. So the Rebel defender couldn't really get around him.
Oh. Good defense.
Swain with the rebound. Pretty good defense from Logan Landon. Gannon McKieran from outside. Seems to be short-handed it a little bit instead of fully extended on that jump shot. But he's a good shooter. He can get hot.
Ooh. Almost had a steal.
Proctor defense just swarming. And even when you have time, you don't realize you have time. Nick Swain with a little adventure there with the ball. Nothing about an adventure that can't be solved with a shot, right, Liv?
Yeah.
Proctor running the flex. Here they come off the screen.
Here you go, Gan. Oh.
Gannon with the jump stop. Missed the bunny, but gets the rebound.
Good pass.
Logan Landon
Good
inside.
job, Logan.
He does this a lot. He buries himself under the basket. Gives himself a much harder shot. But in that case, he got the rebound and went back at it. Wholesale substitutions coming in. Andre Greb and Braden Fox for the Phantoms. Number 12, Benton Winch. Bovat and
Number 2,
Aaron Clausen coming in for the Rebels. I believe that was Curtis Tomlinson's second foul.
Yep. Nice shot.
That's 2 by Bryce Card for the Rebels. Curtis Tomlinson runs him off the...
Nice rebound, Braden.
Runs the defense back, pulls up. Proctor gets the offensive board. Kyle Miles. Now the Phantoms are swinging the ball around the outside. Andre Greb doing damage on the inside. Braden Fox where he's accustomed to being, on the floor.
Great hustle.
Yeah, he lays it out there every second he's on the floor. I think he thinks he's on defense. No, actually, they're running this.
Great play, yeah.
That's the old Proctor sideline inbounds play, where you draw players into the backcourt and then run a give and go with the guy out of bounds. Nice turn by Nick Morrow, and the Rebels cut the score to 50-19 with 3:40 left in the third quarter.
Good take.
Curtis Tomlinson with the and one, and I think that might have been Bovat picking up his
Yep.
yeah, that was 24, Bovat. You can tell he is not particularly happy. He's a competitor, he's an athlete, and he doesn't like being embarrassed. So if you're going to go to the hole on him, I think you can expect to get smacked. He's out of the game at this point, and Rebels playing some of their bench. Nick Ojala bringing energy, speed, and quickness. Nice rebound by Andre Greb. Turnover by Nick Ojala. Proctor now in a zone. Here comes Braden Fox the other way.
Nice move.
Nice dribble drive all the way to the hoop. Proctor's still playing the good defense. In the zone. A little bit of a reach there by Ojala, but didn't change anything, so
Dribbling through.
no harm, no foul. And here comes Braden Fox again. He's a lefty. And scores again. Going to the hoop.
Good.
And Braden's going to get his sixth point in about 30 seconds. And Proctor extends its lead to 40 at 59-19. Excellent box and rebound by Kyle Miles. Here comes Curtis Tomlinson to the hoop for another two. And right now, the Phantoms are just running the Rebels right out of the gym. I've coached in some games like this, but I've never played in one, and to be honest, some of those AAU games I've coached got a little ugly, but I honestly think we were playing professional squads when we did that.
Yeah.
Proctor's still running its offense, moving the ball. Andre Greb on the inside, being held by number 11, Clayton Sanderson. And into the game from Nick Swain, Logan Landon, Gannon McCarron, replacing Tomlinson, Kyle Miles, and I guess that Nick Swain didn't go in. He
Came back out.
It's bad enough playing 5-on-5 in this game. Those little tweener shots that are like 5 feet from the hoop, those are sometimes the hardest ones to make. That's why your backboard is your friend.
Gotta use glass.
Out comes Braden Fox. scored at that pace, he'd break Wilt Chamberlain's all-time scoring record, but of 100 points in a game.
He did that?
Yes, he did that.
When was that?
Yeah, it was in the 60s.
That's pretty impressive.
At Hershey, Pennsylvania. The year that he averaged 50 points a game.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like 50 points and 20 rebounds, too. Back come the Rebels. And Logan Landon with the big rebound inside. Now he's playing point guard, which smartly he decides not to do. Giving the ball up to Nick Ojala. Logan Landon at the high post, looking for Andre Greb inside.
Ooh, nice move.
His game has improved so much over the last couple of years. You know, he's always been a good athlete and strong, but you know, he's got little moves on the inside. He's boxing. His technique is pretty good. Catches the ball.
I think it's all come with confidence as well.
Gannon McCarron with a deep shot. Another rebound for Andre Greb. And there's a little baby hook inside. He literally just jumped over the defender that time. And Proctor extends its lead to 63-23 at the end of 3 quarters. So, Liv, what do you do in a game where you're down by 40?
Just gotta keep playing. Pick up on the defense for sure, but I don't really know if there is much you can do in a quarter when you're down by 40.
How about warm the bus? You warm the bus up? Is that a good idea?
How long is the trip from Leland and Gray?
Oh, that's a bit of a hike. It's a bit of a hike. It's well over an hour.
I don't think I've ever been.
Oh, yeah, you have.
I don't think so.
Absolutely. I know, because I've driven it.
Well, maybe Alyssa played, but I don't know. Maybe in soccer or something, but I don't ever recall in basketball.
In any event, something's got to happen. And the one thing that we know will happen is that at some point, 8 minutes will run off this clock. And unless Wilt Chamberlain himself decides to show up on the court. And even at that, he's going to have to score 40 in the quarter and prevent them, Proctor from scoring. I think we know the way this one's going to go. Nevertheless, you got to play the game. And so here come the Rebels, left to right, against that Proctor zone. And Andre Greb with the foul on Mr. Bovat. Now that is a legitimate physical matchup. Andre Greb.
Oh yeah.
And Bovat for the Rebels. It's a little tough when Curtis Tomlinson and Gannon McCarron are wrestling with him, but Andre Greb has the strength to do some, at least stand his own. Mr. Bovat's a pretty impressive athlete. Logan Landon attempting a spin move there. High screen. Here come the Rebels. With the miss, and Nick Ojala running the floor, as is Logan Landon. And misses that easy shot inside, and then goes over the back and commits the foul. It's not going to impact probably the outcome of this game, but you'd like to see the game finish cleanly without too many fouls. A couple of blocks inside. I believe that was Bovat again. Now they're running that flex again. In my opinion, the best thing about the flex is it allows you to waste time. Every now and then somebody seems to get a shot off with it.
At the end of the game, it's important to waste time if you're up by that much.
Well, maybe if you're up by 5.
Run the clock, get it over with. Nick is so quick.
Hoping we'll see a Joey Parker sighting in this
Yeah, he should
quarter.
be in.
We should
Derek
perhaps see a Derek Almond sighting in this quarter as well. Lovat with the foul, working hard the entire game. Rebels decide they want to press. And Nick Ojala for 3.
They counted it as 2.
I guess the officials see that as a 2. .603 left in the game. Proctor up 65-29. Team fouls. Who cares? That fouls on Nick Ojala. One of the things you don't like to see in a game like this is, frustrations and the like with everybody playing hard. You don't want to see it get too chippy and people taking cheap shots and that kind of thing. We haven't seen any of that. I like the way Bovat's been playing for the Rebels. He's just working hard, doing the best he can under very tough circumstances. And we got there is a Joey Parker sighting with Braden Fox, and there's Derek Almond messing with my program. Maybe he would be good enough to give it back to me.
Hey, Braden.
Like he needed to do that. Oh my God. That's all right. That's right. I'll just make up people's names.
I'll get it.
Great assist by Olivia Valerio. Now Rebels are matching up in a man-to-man, which makes it tough. Curtis Tomlinson taking it all the way to the hoop. Drawing the foul and going to the line with 5:26 left in the fourth quarter. Proctor up 65-29. I'm a little surprised that there is not a bigger crowd here for the first
Home opener
of the boys. I mean, they're the defending state champions, and the gym is
a bit empty.
a little empty. But for the fact that the girls team showed up somewhere around the beginning of the game, it would be significantly worse. Nevertheless, people have a treat coming to watch these Proctor Phantoms defend their state championship, because as far as we can tell so far, they look pretty good. I don't think Leland and Gray is actually a bad team.
What division is Leland and Gray?
They're Division 3 team, but they missed a lot of easy shots early and got down. And you always look great when you're hitting shots, and when you aren't hitting shots, you look horrible. Was that Derek Almond who scored down the other end of the floor?
Jay.
Oh, Joe Parker. Yeah. Okay, so now the roster on the floor for Proctor: Gannon McKieran, Braden Fox, Joey Parker, Kyle Miles, and Derek Almond. Proctor using its entire bench in this game, and some of the folks at the end of the bench are going to get some good experience, a lot of good time today. So 4.5 minutes left. Proctor with a 40-point lead. And Proctor inbounds the ball. Gannon McCarron running the point at this point. Braden Fox a little behind the back dribble and steal on the inside. Kyle Miles sealed his man but then let him go, and that allowed the interception that time. Nick Morrow's a big guy, and I got a feeling that before this season's over, people are going to hear from him for the Rebels. Just not today. And speaking of the devil, that's Nick Morrow's 5th foul, and he's fouled out. Andre Greb getting ready to check in for the Phantoms. Must be checking in for the, I don't know who he's checking in for. I'm guessing the shooter. Nice outlet, good rebound by Kyle Miles. Nice cross-court pass. The reason that got through, it's a nice bounce pass. Braden Fox for 3. Joey Parker working hard on the... And they call a charge. Now, didn't look like Kyle Miles was well set for that, to take that charge, but he was moving backwards the entire time, and the contact was initiated by the Rebel player. You don't usually see those calls going that way, but I guess we'll take it. Nice pick by Joey Parker.
Good catch by Gannon.
Andre Greb going to go to the line. He hits the first. Nice touch. Good job by Andre this game. He's a little bit down on the depth chart for the Phantoms, but you bring him off the bench and you're going to get energy, you're going to get defense. And boy, he looks like he's got a little bit of touch as well. Just missed that layup. And here comes Nick Ojala for somebody.
Good hands by
Braden Fox knows how to play one way, 110% and nothing else. And he doesn't always make, sometimes it's not the smartest plays, sometimes, but you never can fault him for his effort. And you can tell he just drives the opposing players crazy. Because he doesn't care if he's up by 40, 42 points at this point? He's playing like they're down by 2. Nick Ojala coming in for Braden Fox. Benton Winnert's on the line, misses the second. Here comes Gannon McCarron with all that speed, getting up ahead of steam. Nice inside out, opposite wing by Andre Greb. McCarron with the miss. And here come the Rebels. Trailing by 42. Ball to the Rebels on the side on the deflection. Proctor in his zone still. Gannon McCarron with the rebound. Do you think Gannon wanted to get to the hoop that time?
I think so.
Braden Fox back in. Must have been tired before. That's why he's got to... Because basketball is a lot different than soccer. You know, real athletes, they play the basketball. Players keep coming out, getting a rest. Now Gannon may hear that he's coming out. I think he's going to miss on purpose. No, let Braden in the game. Or something else happened. I guess there was a violation. And,
yeah, I think Andre stepped in a little bit too quick.
And out comes Gannon. Another excellent game. It's a lot of athleticism, very good defense. I mean,
it's very quick, very fast.
The whole Proctor team is, you know, they've held Leland and Gray to 29 points. Braden Fox to the hoop. For two, Braden scored a lot of points in this half. Andre Greb on the ball. Here comes Nick Ojala, 41 seconds left. Now they're running the flex. This is where I think this is where the flex is best used.
Yeah.
Just to take some time off the clock, because God knows it doesn't get you an actual shot.
Not at all.
You can tell I love that offense. I actually love it only because I can make fun of it every time a team runs it.
If you get a mismatch, then it's fine. But,
Proctor foul on number.
I think it was 20.
On number 20.
Yeah, it was Joey Parker.
Joe Parker. See, if you're deep on the bench, you want to make sure you at least get in the book. And if the other team has the ball late, make sure it's a foul. In any event, Proctor's finished this one out. Final score of 74-29. And I'll come back in just a second and get you some final scoring totals for Proctor. Very balanced scoring, as you might imagine. Nick Swain with 9 points. Braden Fox with 8 points. All 8 points coming in about a 30-second span. Andre Greb with 9 points. Gannon McCarron with 9 points. Kyle Miles with 6. Joey Parker scored 2. Logan Landon with 10 points. Curtis Tomlinson with 18. And Nick Ojala with 4. All but one Proctor Phantom scored in the game. I'll get you the scoring totals for the Rebels in just a second.
Yeah.
And for the Leland and Gray Rebels, you had Mr. Bovat with 9 points,
Oh my.
Sanderson with 4, White with 2, Card with 6, Tebow with 4, and Morrow with 4, for a total of 29. Final score, Proctor 74, the Rebels 29. We'll see you next time from the Bajani Gym. Thank you and good night.